Jake wasn't a gym rat by trade. He was a content creator, a comedian with a knack for spinning everyday screw-ups into gold. His YouTube channel, Screw Up Central, had 200K subscribers who tuned in for his self-deprecating rants about botched dates, spilled coffee, and the time he accidentally set off a fire alarm at an improv gig. But that Thursday in March 2025, he wasn't on stage or behind a camera. He was at Ethan's side in a sweaty gym on the outskirts of town, pretending to care about his buddy's pitiful bench press. The place was a zoo, grunting bras flexing in the mirror, yoga moms stretching in neon leggings, and the occasional newbie fumbling a kettlebell like it was a live grenade. Jake leaned against the rack, scrolling his phone, half listening to Ethan's groans. "One more, bro. You got this," he mumbled, chuckling at the thought of guys who play trainer to flirt, oblivious to the women just trying to lift in peace. Then Lila walked in. She wasn't just hot, she was focused. No makeup, no nonsense, just a woman who knew her way around a squat rack. Black leggings hugged her legs, her tank top clung to her frame, and her hair was yanked back in a tight ponytail that screamed, "I'm here to work." She strode past the cardio bunnies and the protein shake guzzlers, heading straight for the free weights. Jake clocked her instantly, his brain firing on all cylinders. "Bro, she's not here to get hit on," Ethan muttered, straining under 135 pounds, his face a shade of tomato red. "She's here to lift." "Yeah, well, I'm about to work her," Jake shot back, already scripting his move. He'd seen plenty of gym flops, guys stumbling over pickup lines mid-set, but he'd be smoother, channeling the charm that got him through a heckler-heavy set at the Laugh Shack last month. He timed it perfectly. Lila was racking 45-pound plates, her form impeccable, knees out, back straight, a textbook squat in the making. Jake sauntered over, leaning casually against the rack, his cap tilted just so. "Hey," he said, voice low and easy, "don't forget to breathe. Science says 60% of gym goers mess that up. I'm Jake, personal trainer, see it all the time." Lila paused, mid-rack, sizing him up with cool gray eyes. "Was I breathing wrong?" "Nah, you've got it down, clearly a pro at, living." He winced internally. Living? What was that? But she laughed, a quick, genuine burst that hit him like a shot of espresso. "I'm Lila," she said, wiping her hands on her leggings. "You're really a trainer?" "Oh yeah," he lied, pointing at Ethan, who was now red-faced and trembling under the bar, veins popping like he was auditioning for a B-movie. "Training a client right now. Yo, widen your stance, bro." Ethan shot him a death glare, but shuffled his feet, selling the ruse despite the wobble in his knees. Lila nodded, brushing chalk off her fingers. "I've been looking for a trainer. Can you handle me?" Jake's pulse spiked, but he played it cool, leaning in just a hair. "I can handle anything." "Cool. Text me Thursday?" She scribbled her number on a crumpled gym flyer and handed it over, her fingers brushing his for a split second. Jake strutted back to Ethan, who'd finally racked the bar with a clang that echoed through the gym. "Dude, it worked," Jake said, waving the flyer like a trophy. "She wants a session. Few workouts, boom. Married with kids, beautiful house, the works." "A relationship built on lies?" Ethan scoffed, rubbing his pecs like they'd betrayed him. "Those always work out. Little white lies, bro. Relax, I've got this." Jake grinned, already picturing the bit he'd write about this, the day I faked my way to love. His audience would eat it up. Thursday hit and Jake was buzzing. He'd spent the night before Googling personal trainer tips and watching YouTube vids on proper squat form, just in case. He'd pictured Lila at some sleek gym with smoothie bars, mirrored walls, and a vibe that screamed $50 a month membership. Instead, she texted him an address that led to Nana Rose's Senior Sweat Shack, a squat cinder block building next to a retirement home. The sign out front read, "Silver Sneakers Welcome," in faded red letters, and the air smelled faintly of Bengay and mothballs. Jake frowned, double-checking his phone. This couldn't be right. Lila waved him over from the entrance, her smile bright against the drab backdrop. "Hey, you made it! Meet my grandma, Nana Rose." A wiry woman with a walker and a faded sweatband rolled up, her eyes sharp behind thick glasses. "He's the trainer?" she barked, squinting like he was a used car salesman. Jake floundered, his comedian instincts kicking in. "I love old people. My grandpa's old." He flashed a grin, hoping it masked the panic bubbling in his chest. "What'd he say?" Nana Rose snapped, leaning in, one hand cupped around her ear. He's thrilled to help you stay healthy, Lila said, squeezing Nana Rose's bony shoulder. It means the world to me, Jake. She's everything. She hugged her grandma tight, her eyes soft, then bolted out the door with a quick, "I've got plans. See you later." Jake stood there, stranded, staring at a posse of seniors who'd shuffled in behind Nana Rose. There was Marge, a spry 78-year-old with a boxer's swagger and a gleam in her eye. Lenny, a grizzled vet with a comb-over and a chip on his shoulder, muttering about the good old days. And a half-dozen others, some with canes, some with hearing aids, all eyeing him like he owed them money or a round of bingo cards. "We don't want baby stretches," Marge said, crossing her arms over her floral sweatshirt. "Give us a real workout." "Yeah, we can handle it," Lenny added, flexing an arm that looked like a deflated balloon, the skin sagging like a worn-out sock. Jake hesitated. He'd heard tales of tough grannies who could outlast anyone, 82-year-olds who'd shame a punk trainer any day. These fossils were that breed, stubborn, scrappy, ready to test him. He cracked his knuckles, channeling his stage bravado. "All right, you asked for it. Welcome to extreme beast mode." He started light, some arm circles, a few leg lifts, figuring he'd ease them in. "Harder," Marge yelled, stomping her orthopedic shoe. Jake upped the ante, squats, lunges, a burpee or two. 5 minutes in, chaos erupted. Marge clutched her side mid-lunge, yelping, "I broke my hip." Lenny wheezed, doubling over, his comb-over flopping like a sad flag. Nana Rose grinned maniacally mid-burpee, shouting, "No pain, no gain," through gritted teeth. Jake's heart stopped. "Time out," he yelled, waving his arms like a frantic ref. He dragged Nana Rose aside as the others groaned and collapsed onto folding chairs. "You okay? Also, what's Lila like?" "Off the record." She smirked, catching her breath, her walker propped against the wall. "Single, loves Earth, Wind, and Fire, Werther's Originals, puzzles. You into her?" "Keep it between us," Jake whispered, glancing at Marge, who was rubbing her hip and muttering about lawsuits. "Deal," Nana Rose said, winking. The next day, Lila texted she'd swing by to check on the session. Jake had snagged Earth, Wind, and Fire tickets online, $80 a pop from a sketchy reseller, but worth it for the play. He led the seniors through cooldowns, gentle stretches this time, no beast mode nonsense, rehearsing his pitch in his head. "Hey, Lila, I'm Nada." Before he could finish, Nana Rose staggered mid-jumping jack, clutching her chest. "I don't feel so good," she gasped, sinking to her knees. "Stay with us, Nana Rose." Jake dropped to the floor, visions of Lila sobbing at a funeral flashing through his head, his comedy career tanking under headlines like "Local Comic Kills Grandma." The seniors erupted. Marge cackled, slapping her thigh. Lenny howled, nearly losing his dentures. Nana Rose sat up, grinning like a Cheshire cat. "Overheard you on the phone yesterday, trainer? You're a fraud." "Tell Lila the truth, or I will." Jake's stomach plummeted. He'd bragged to Ethan in the locker room after yesterday's session, too loud apparently, crowing about fooling the old bats. He'd heard of guys who lied about lifting big to impress a girl, only to get caught when she demanded proof. This was his version of that, and he was about to crash. Lila walked in, all smiles, her gym bag slung over her shoulder. Jake swallowed hard, his throat dry as a desert. "I'm not a trainer. I just like you, puzzles, and Earth, Wind, and Fire. Concert tonight?" She opened her mouth, but a jacked dude in a tank top cut in, striding over with a grin. "Hey, babe." Lila lit up. "This is Tyler, my boyfriend. He loves Nana Rose almost as much as you do." Tyler clapped Jake's shoulder, his grip like a vice. "Heard you're killing it with Granny. Thanks, man." Jake's soul left his body, floating somewhere above the sweat-stained mats. Then Tyler's friend Sophie stepped up, eyeing him with a curious tilt of her head. "You like Earth, Wind, and Fire? My grandma played their records non-stop when I was a kid. I'm free tonight." "Concert's on?" Jake said, clawing for any scrap of a win, his voice barely above a croak. Nana Rose bellowed from her chair. "He's a liar, sweetie. Everything he says is questionable now." Sophie shrugged, brushing a strand of hair behind her ear. "One white lie? I'll risk it. No sugar, though." "Deal," Jake muttered, wondering how the hell he'd spin this into a 10-minute set without crying on stage. Jake spent the rest of that Thursday reeling. He slumped onto a bench outside Nana Rose's sweat shack, the late afternoon sun casting long shadows across the parking lot. His phone buzzed. Ethan, texting, "You alive, bro? How'd it go with Hot Squat Girl?" Jake groaned, typing back, "Disaster. She's got a boyfriend and I almost killed her grandma. Call me." The phone rang 30 seconds later. "Dude, what?" Ethan's voice crackled through, half laughing already. Jake recounted the whole mess, the fake trainer bit, the seniors demanding beast mode, Nana Rose's prank heart attack. "I thought I was toast, man. Picture me on the news. Comedian jails self after granny wipeout." "You're an idiot," Ethan said, wheezing with laughter. "I told you lies blow up in your face. You're like that guy who flirts instead of spotting. Almost drops the bar on himself." "Yeah, well, I've got a date tonight," Jake shot back, trying to salvage some pride. "Sophie, Tyler's friend, she's into Earth, Wind, and Fire. I'm not dead yet. Lies got you a backup chick? Wild. Don't screw this up too." Jake hung up, staring at the tickets in his hand. He'd spent half his grocery budget on them, banking on Lila being his plus one. Now he was stuck with Sophie, a wild card who might bail if Nana Rose ratted him out again. He'd heard of faking it till you make it backfiring, dates crashing when the bluff gets called. This felt too close to that. That night, he met Sophie outside the venue, a small outdoor amphitheater, the air thick with nostalgia as Earth, Wind, and Fire's horns blared through warm-up sound checks. She wore a retro band tee and jeans, her smile easy. "So, you're the guy who almost took out Nana Rose's crew?" she teased. Jake laughed, nerves loosening. "Yeah, but they loved it. Marge threatened to sue, then ask me back for round 2. "They're tough as nails," Sophie said, nodding. "My grandma was the same, used to blast this band while I helped her with jigsaw puzzles. You really into them?" Yeah," Jake lied, then caught himself. "Okay, truth? I got the tickets for Lila, but I'm glad it's you here. I'm more of a puzzle guy than a funk guy, but I can vibe." Sophie grinned. "Honesty's a start. Let's see if you survive the night." The concert was a blur. Groovy bass lines, sweaty dancing, Jake fumbling the lyrics to September while Sophie sang every word. By the encore, he'd relaxed, the weight of his gym fiasco fading. Maybe this wasn't a total loss. That old funk sound still had a pull, vinyl nostalgia kicking in hard. Sophie clearly felt it too. Back at the sweat shack the next week, Jake faced the seniors again. Lila had asked him to keep training them. "You're a natural," she'd said, oblivious to the truth. And Nana Rose had grudgingly agreed, muttering, "Don't kill us for real this time." He stuck to light cardio, dodging Marge's demands for more burpees and Lenny's taunts about weak millennials. He'd heard of old-timers shaming younger guys for skipping leg day. Lenny fit that mold perfectly. Tyler dropped by mid-session, clapping Jake on the back. "You're a legend, man. Nana Rose hasn't stopped talking about you." Lila smiled beside him, oblivious to Jake's crushed crush. He forced a grin, leading the crew through a round of chair squats, while Sophie watched from the sidelines, smirking. By the end, Jake had a new bit for his channel. "The week I became a fake trainer and survived Granny Boot Camp." He filmed it that night, pacing his cramped apartment, recounting the chaos, Marge's hip, Nana Rose's prank, the Earth, Wind, and Fire twist. "Moral of the story," he said to the camera, "lie your way in, but truth your way out, or you're stuck dodging Werther's originals from a handsy grandma." The video went live the next day. Comments flooded in. "Bro, this is gold. My trainer lied about his certs too." And "Seniors are brutal. My grandpa once outlifted me at 85. Jake grinned, mulling over gym pickup lines gone wrong, guys hitting on women mid-set only to get shut down. Lila would have hated that, he figured. Weeks later, Sophie texted him about a puzzle night. No lies this time, just caramel candies and a 1,000-piece jigsaw of a lighthouse. Jake showed up, ready to play it straight. Maybe he'd stumbled into something real after all.